Yeah, I think that in terms of how to create a community's vision documents, or what I might call mission and purpose documents, is a process that involves many weeks or months, sometimes even longer, of the group finding out what are their common values, what do these values lead to in terms of a mission and purpose, and what activities and goals will this then lead to. This is a kind of a bigger subject than a smaller one. I devote 2 chapters to this in my book, Creating a Life Together, and the first chapter is about why this is important, and the second chapter is here's some methods some groups have used. Since I've written that, I have come to more understanding and additional things to say about it. So, first of all, where do mission and purpose statements, documents appear? In a brochure that you might hand out to people, or a flyer when you're attracting people to your community and you have a little exhibit space at a fair or a conference or something. On your website, mission and purpose. What would these include? Well, it might include a short statement that says, we are a group of families and households devoted to biodynamic gardening and farming, and we want to revive food self-reliance with really healthy foods in this part of our province. I'm thinking of a particular community right now. Or it might say, we are a group of social justice activists who want to provide a haven for social justice and environmental activists in New York City to come here to our country place and recharge their batteries and rest and take part in our life. I'm thinking of another community in mind. So a very specific reason sometimes communities exist. So if you look at a community's website, and I would hope they have a website so that you and I and anybody else who wants to learn about them can go learn at our leisure in a way that doesn't take up a lot of their time, that they've got their mission and purpose. It might be a short statement. They might have some further paragraphs that describe what they mean. Dancing Rabbit does something pretty terrific on their website. They say their mission and purpose, and they mention that they are about sustainability, and have a little asterisk. And then down below they have paragraphs. This is what we mean by sustainability. They have 2 or 3 paragraphs, very precise, scientific kind of description of what they mean by sustainability. We don't use up more energy and embodied this and that for what we're expending, and it's very, very clear. I can't remember it. I'm not that good at this, but it's so clear. You get what they mean by it. The website could also have some goals. Of course, goals will change because you might decide you don't want to do that, or you might meet that goal and you've got new goals. It also might have some strategy. I think of mission and purpose as who we are, what we're doing, why we're doing it. And I think of strategy as where we're going to do it, when we're going to do it, how we're going to do it. The strategy can change, and the mission and purpose probably gets revisited maybe every few years, but isn't radically changed very often. I think of vision as like, what kind of world do we want to see that's better and different than this world? And mission and purposes, and what's our group going to do to help create that world that we want to see? That's just my way of looking at it. Okay, so I envision this tree metaphor where the roots are the different values that the people in the group share. Honesty, transparency. I'm making little roots go into the tree. Sustainability, however we define it. Being a model demonstration site for others. Education, inspiration, whatever our values are. And then here's this trunk of the tree. Well, this would be our mission and purpose statement here in the trunk. Then we have these branches of the tree. Well, these are our activities and our goals, because out of our mission and purpose comes, well, we're building this school building. Well, we're starting to grow a garden over there. Well, we're creating this educational program. So what's the fruits? Out off the tree comes the fruit, lands on the ground. I think that's the completion of goals and the satisfaction that you get when you see that, we are living out our mission and purpose. And what do fruits that fall on the ground do? Well, of course, they nourish the ground, which nourishes the roots, which nourishes the values. So the way I see it is our values get expressed through our activities, and then they bear the fruit of we completed it, and that nourishes the values that we have, which is why we're here. So I would suggest that groups start from their values. So what is the best friend of a forming community who wants to do visioning? Big Post-it notes and thick magic markers, or low order magic markers, and places on the wall with big easel papers to post their notes. And so there's this whole set of methods that groups can do to write each individual person's values. They put them on these papers. Their logical folks in the group cluster the values. They then look to see, do we have similar values? Do enough of us share enough values? Here's some questions to ask. Are there 2 communities in the room right now? Or 3? Are there some of us who want completely different things than others of us want? Do some of us value completely different things? Also, this is a time to notice the difference between values and specific activities, or specific building styles, or specific diets, or specific whatever. I was once in this forming community group, and I asked this question: what is the group's shared values or mission and purpose? This was in the beginning. I'd never knew anything about community yet. It was a long time ago. And some people say, I see domes. And somebody said, I see mushrooms, meaning shiitake mushrooms. And I thought, well, that's a building style and that's a food source, but that's not the same thing as values. So it's good for the group to kind of get clear on, oh yeah, these are interests, let's write this down here. Yep, we'll do composting, but that's not really a value, that's an activity. So we'll just capture all of these things. We'll put it on this big easel paper that we keep on the wall. But over here, we'll put our values. It's better to find out now if there's 2 communities in the room. Better to find out now. Then later, when we've bought the land, put our heart and soul and mission and purpose, blood, sweat, and tears into this, and then we find out that we want different things. Okay, who's supposed to leave? Who should leave? You should leave. No, I should leave. Oh, no, what do we do? So better to find this out now. Do you lose your friendships with people if they're not going to be in your community because they want different things? Oh, not at all. You get to keep them as your friend. They can come over for dinner anytime. You just might not want to create the same community. Okay, so you have values clustered on the wall on different easel papers. And this begins a process, if you want to do it this way, of crafting some phrases and then sentences out of what it is that you value. And then I would suggest going back and forth between whole group meetings and small group meetings. The small groups are wordsmiths, really logical people, and good process folks. And send them off to craft a statement based on our shared values. And then they come back and they show us in great big letters with lots of space in between it that we could put up on the wall, and I'll look at it and we try, well, what if we change this word to this? And what if we change this word to this? And how about taking that out and rearrange it and change these? And so we do some of that. And then this group goes back and tries again, and we bring it back. So that's one way to do it.